we got big news this week. I'll tell you
We
what,
do have pretty big news this week. I agree.
RaceDayQuads has been sold. Tyler Brennan, the owner of RaceDayQuads, the founder of RaceDayQuads, has, well, he's not entirely gone, but he certainly has stepped back.
Yeah, I think my understanding is he is backing off a little bit to do family stuff. Um,
Oh my god, it's just like MatPat and PewDiePie, but MatPat.
I don't
It's
I don't know that reference.
when all the YouTubers were quitting YouTube because
Oh,
MatPat,
right.
game theory, food theory, etc. MatPat was semi-retired to go work for his family, work with his anyway, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, MatPat retired, and who's next?" Then a whole bunch of YouTubers made jokes about quitting YouTube and retiring, and Tyler Brennan took it seriously.
Yeah. So basically, they sold RaceDayQuads to Figston Partners, which is the same company, the investment firm, private equity, that bought GetFPV like 8 years ago, or I mean, a while back at this point. Um, yeah, and so I don't know, it was a while back, but yeah, basically now they own RaceDayQuads as well. Tyler says in this post a bunch of stuff about how, the goal is to keep the company the same as it was. It'll still be a family company,
Mm-hmm.
the same operating staff as they're operating. This has already been the case for almost 4 weeks at this point. So if you have been ordering from RDQ in the last 4 weeks, you've ordered from the new private equity setup. In case you were wondering, like, oh, is it going to drastically change or when does this happen? It's already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he basically, as much as he probably is sort of required to do a nice exit of a business or transition of a business, you're going to say all the nice things anyway. But he is trying to assure people that the transition's already happened, that this will, at least for now, retain a similar structure to that it had before.
Yeah, I think that it's obvious that over time, the aspects of the way GetFPV is run as a business will show up at RaceDayQuads. Like, you wouldn't buy a business and then just be like, well, I guess everything's fine over here, and not change anything. There's things that GetFPV does differently than RaceDayQuads because they think they work better. But at the same time, I think that there's a lot that GetFPV can learn from RaceDayQuads, and I hope that they are wise enough to take those lessons. Like, people are asking about the shipping time. The reason RaceDayQuads ships so quickly, in my opinion, it's two reasons. Number one is that Tyler just whips the crap out of the warehouse staff. Like, they care a lot about shipping on time. But then also, they're right next to the Orlando airport, and so there's long been a rumor that I don't know if the rumor's true, but there's long been a rumor that they run the packages down to the airport and drop them directly at the airport instead of dropping them at the post office, which saves them like one hop on the mailing. I don't know if that's true, but maybe it is. So who knows what will change, though, in the future. What will change, though, for sure, is that Tyler Brennan will no longer be running the company. One wonders, though, like, how much he's been running the company. Like, I know that he's a active duty fighter pilot. There was a time several years ago when he went on deployment and he was basically absent, and someone else was kind of running the company in his stead. I know he kind of ebbed and flowed in his involvement in the company. So who knows what the future holds for
Yeah.
RaceDayQuads.
It may be based on this transition, but I noticed in the last few months he's been very active on Facebook, replying to customers and trying to deal with issues and stuff. But yeah, maybe because of this. Also, the things I started thinking about were, a few months ago we saw RDQ change, right? They bought a bunch of different companies and bought Surface RC and all that stuff.
Oh, right. They partnered with
So
that other hobby company to do Surface RC.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I would guess that's all either for valuation or some kind of support for the transition, right? So that
That's
makes more
interesting.
sense.
I don't know what the timing of that is, but like, I know that Tyler has been concerned about sales numbers in the FPV industry for some time now. I know that sales numbers for many stores have been lower than they were historically. And I read the integration of the Surface stuff, as just an attempt to diversify and keep the store alive. I never put that together with this merger.
Well, I would have agreed, but then they did the merger. So to me, like,
does the timing work out?
I mean, it's a few months before, and they certainly were in talks before suddenly, right? The transition happened a month ago. So, like,
that's interesting.
I mean, I know when we sold, you know, when the company I was working for, the cannabis company I was working for that was worth $3 million sold, it took like 4.5 months for that to go through, if not longer, you know? Yeah. And there were rumors about it. All the staff heard it was happening, but weren't sure. It's a real mess, to be honest, but it took a long time. So I think these things can definitely take a while.
Well, I hope that, you know, issues with stocking and so forth are, you know, it seems like they're probably going to have similar stocking, right?
I would assume so, but it's hard to tell, like, what the decisions that the private equity firm will make, right? Are they going to leave them with the same budget, let them order the same things? How much does Tyler personally judge stock? How much does he have pullers that do all this stuff and automatically decide what to order? Is there an automated back end or not? I mean, there's a lot of things that matter, and if Tyler had an active role in the company versus a passive role, then that's a lot of shoes you got to fill, right? You got to train somebody in that position or understand how that market ebb and flows or whatever. People also have been asking, are they going to get TBS now? They do have TBS, actually, I think, because of the purchase they made or the deal they made with that other surface. But I think they are going to continue. I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I recall that TBS's grudge was with Tyler specifically. So maybe now that GetFPV owns it, they will start to stock it again. Who knows? I tell you who's the winner here, though, for sure. It's Pyrodrome. Well, Tyler, because Tyler's walking away with who knows how much money in the sale. Yes. That's true. He gets to go. Do you know what his other businesses are? He owns 2 other businesses.
I don't.
He owns 3 doggy daycares and 1 golf course. This guy.
Interesting.
There was a public golf course. I'm not sure I'll get all the details of the story right. But as I understand the story, there was a public golf course that was basically sort of failing and shitty. And he was like, I know how to run a business. And he bought the golf course and he's like fixing it up and making it awesome. And then he bought a doggy daycare. And then like apparently it became super profitable. And he was like, I like dogs. So he bought 2 more. So now he is Tyler Brennan, doggy daycare and golf magnate. Oh, and of course, active duty fighter pilot. Freaking guy.
Fair enough.
All right.